Hi, my name is Mrs. Beltz, and we're going to work on math together today. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to read, write, and represent the numbers 0 through 5. So that means we're going to look at the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How are we going to do that? Well, we are going to watch a video about the numbers 0 through 5. We are going to practice reading the numbers 0 through 5. We're going to practice writing the numbers 0 through 5. And we're also going to practice representing the numbers 0 through 5. So that means we're going to make some kind of a picture. Why are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do this so that we're able to represent a number in many different ways. So are you ready? Let's get started. Here is our first number we're going to look at. So let's think about how to say this number. Sound out the word with me. Z-E-R-O. 0. This is the number 0. When you have this number, you are able to see that it starts with a Z. And this is what the number actually looks like. So it looks like a big circle. Whoops. So say it again with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 0. And it looks like a big circle. What was this number? That's right, 0. Let's look at the next one. Our next number we're going to look at is the number 1. Sound it out with me. W-un. And this is what it looks like as a number. So sound it out again. W-un. This is the number 1. What was this number? That's right, it's the number 1. Here is our next one, the number 2. T-oo. When we sound it out, t-t-oo. Can you sound it out with me? T-t-t-oo. And whenever we look at it, it looks like this. It looks like this is the number 2. What was this number again? 2, that's right. Here is our next number. Our next number is 3. So remember, TH says th, th. So 3. 3. And this is what the number 3 looks like. Sound it out again. 3. 3. What was this number? That's right. It's the number 3. Our next number is the number 4. Can you sound it out with me? Or 4. And it looks like this. This is the number 4. What number was it? That's right. It's the number 4. Our last number we're going to look at today is the number 5. So let's sound it out together. I've. 5. This is the number 5. Can you sound it out with me one more time? 5. What was this number? That's right, it's the number 5. So we've talked about how we can read a number. We can see it as in a word, or we can see it as a numeral or a number. We're also going to talk about how we can represent a number. So that's what we're going to look at next. So the first one we had was the number, do you remember what this one was? 0. This is the number 0. So we're going to use a really important math tool. We're going to use a math tool that's called a 10 frame, and it looks like this picture right here. It's called a 10 frame because there are 10 boxes. For the number 0, we don't have anything filled in because 0 means there's nothing. So right now, my 10 frame is empty, and I don't have any pictures that can go with it because I don't have anything if I have 0. So what's going to happen if I have 1? What do you think is going to happen to my 10 frame? Let's see if you're right. So for the number 1, here's my number 1. Remember, this is what it looks like as a word, and this is what it looks like as a number. I am going to have my 10 frame, and there's only one space filled in, and that represents the number 1. I also could have a picture. So I decided to have a smiley face, but I only have one smiley face because that's the only number I have right now. So now we're going to look at the number 2. So if this was the number 1 and I only had 1 in my 10 frame and I only had one smiley face, what do you think is going to happen next? Let's see if you're right. So here is the number 2. Remember, here is what it looks like as a word. Here is what it looks like as a number. Here is my 10 frame. This time my 10 frame has 2 circles inside of it. 1, 2. So this 10 frame represents 2. I also could have a picture. So I decided this time I was going to have 2 smiley faces. 1, 2. So now we're going to look at the number 3. So if I look at the number 3, what do you think is going to happen? If I had 2 and I'm going to go to 3, how many dots do you think are going to be on my 10 frame? Let's see if you're right. Here is the number 3. So I have 1, 2, 3 dots on my 10 frame. And if I wanted to make a picture or a model, I could do that. And I decided to have 3 smiley faces. So I have 1, 2, 3. What's our next number going to be? If we already had 0, 1, 2, 3, what's my next number going to be? Let's see if you're right. Did you say 4? If you said 4, you were correct. So for my picture, for my number, here's the number 4. Here it is as in a word. Here's what it looks like as a number. On my 10 frame, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. And then in my picture or my model, I have 4 smiley faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have one more number we're going to look at. What is that number? What do you think it's going to be? So we already did 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think our last number we're going to look at today is going to be? If you said 5, you are correct. Here is the number 5. So here's what it looks like as a word. Here is what it looks like as a number. On our 10 frame, we have 5 purple dots. So let's count to make sure that Miss Belts didn't make a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then we have 5 on our 10 frame. And we can also make a picture of it. So I'm going to have my 5 smiley faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So today we did a couple of things. We read, we haven't written yet, but we are going to soon, write and represent numbers 0 through 5. How are we going to do that? Well, we're watching this video. We're going to practice reading the numbers 0 through 5. We're going to practice writing the numbers 0 through 5. And we're going to practice representing the numbers 0 through 5. Now remember, represent means that we're going to have some kind of a picture. And why are we doing this? So we're able to represent a number in many different ways. So here's what you are going to do. You are going to have a page that looks like this. Actually, it's a couple of pages, and that's okay. And what you are going to have to do is you are going to look at this 10 frame that I made, and you are going to have to decide how many are in there, and you're going to write that right here. So if I look at this example, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And in the part where it says number, I'm actually going to write the number 3. And then it says picture. And you are going to draw a picture with something that has 3 things. So maybe you're like Mrs. Belts and you wanted to draw 3 smiley faces. Or maybe you want to draw 3 stars or 3 circles or 3 squares. That's fine. Just make sure it matches the same number. So I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to have the number 3 written right here. And I'm also going to have a picture of 3 things. So that is what you are going to do today. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher for help. Bye. I'll see you next week.